Welcome to the show. This is where your offers get sharper, your messaging gets stronger, and your business becomes impossible to ignore. Let's begin. This is the Marketing Makeover Show. Let me fix your marketing in real time. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Marketing Makeover Show. And today you are in for a treat. I've got a marketing OG, one of my best friends in the world, Rafael Zabala. The guy is an absolute legend. You can tell by the trophies behind him, kind of like mine, but a few extra trophies. This guy's been around the block. He's made a lot of money in marketing for himself and for his clients and the companies that he's worked with. And we're here together on the Marketing Makeover Show. Maybe a little bit of a different episode of the show than you're used to, because I'm now working in mentoring and working on making over his marketing. And this is a guy who probably knows just as much as I do, if not more. So I think it's going to be really cool. He's going to add a lot of value. And let's dive in. So Rafa, let's start here, man. What are you working on right now? How can I serve you today? And what have you brought to me on the Marketing Makeover Show?
I love it. I'm so excited to be here with you today. And I humbly come today because as we are launching some new campaigns on a new company that we're working with, when you gave me the opportunity, it's like, hey, would you like to come on and work on this together? I jumped to it because definitely it's incredibly powerful to be able to bounce off ideas and be able to begin to recreate and build these beautiful new campaigns to bring life back into a new partner company. So let me catch you up real quick on what we're working on. Does that sound good?
Please do.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are working with an amazing company called REI Black Book. They are a CRM marketing automation system that's really positioning themselves to be the true headquarter, the true growth engine for real estate investors. They've been around for 20 years and have an incredible reputation for the work that they do, because not only are they providing the technology, they're providing the technology already pre-built, pre-set up for real estate investors so that they can just show up, jump in, do a couple of clicks, and have live campaigns, including websites, phone numbers, and all of the things that you and I know are so important, and then oftentimes have to be recreated from scratch in other CRM systems, right? Today, I'm really looking for ideas and help on front-end campaigns. How can we begin to drive traffic through ads, right? And drive traffic to ads either to our free trials or our paid trials. We do also have some really interesting lead magnets as well. So there's a lot of good things here from a reputation perspective, from the actual deliverability of the product that they have. And I think the one last thing that I would add to this that I'm most excited about in what they do is just the personal touch that's included for everybody in this process. Everyone is invited to one-on-one onboardings, group onboardings. There are multiple weekly trainings inside of the system and support inside of the system. And all we need to do is help real estate investors, wholesalers, landlords find this opportunity and see that, hey, this is a more streamlined and effective way to be running their real estate business.
Love it. You gave me a lot of context there. I'm going to break it down, repeat some of it back to you to make sure we're all tracking.
Yeah.
Also, kind of where you are in the process. You're already using Pocket Marketer, which is the sponsor of this Marketing Makeover Show. I'm the CEO and founder of Pocket Marketer, and I know you're using it, and you've been using it quite a bit. So we may go into your account today instead of mine, if that's okay, and kind of build off of what you've been working on. So REI Black Book at the basic level is a CRM for real estate investors. And you said landlords, you said wholesalers, you said flippers. So pretty much goes along the whole gambit of anybody who's a real estate investor. This is a CRM system, which is instead of using Go High Level or instead of using Salesforce, this is packed full, fully customized with every single thing that a real estate investor would need already baked in. And then beyond that, it's a system where it's been around for 20 years. It's not a startup. You guys are doing group onboarding, a lot more personal touch. Am I tracking everything right now?
100%.
And then when it comes to the business's challenges in general, can you tell me a little bit about that? Whatever you're comfortable sharing, and maybe I'll load this up a little bit for you. Some businesses, especially been around for 20 years, especially in the software business, there's a lot of plateaus that people hit. Dan Martell talks about that in his book, Software as a Science, how there's these plateaus that people hit where they're having a hard time acquiring new clients and new customers. and maybe their churn's not terrible because they have a great product, but they're kind of stuck here in stagnant land. Is that what REI Black Book has been experiencing? Is that why they brought you on?
That's exactly right.
Okay.
This is a situation we're looking at 20 years of growth that has kind of plateaued and become stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
They do have an incredible churn rate, just maybe the best I've ever seen.
Incredibly low, right? Like low churn.
Incredibly low. Yeah, that's
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
Yeah. On the good side.
On the good side. I was gonna say, because incredible churn may be high. I don't know. But yeah,
That's
low
right.
churn. So that shows you got a great product. So the big problem here to solve, and what I want to help you with, is what you asked for, is front-end marketing, which I am very, very good at. Lead gen, front-end marketing, scalable advertising. They call it disruptive advertising, which simply means, for anybody listening, that it didn't start with active intent, didn't start with a need or a want or a search, but instead we're paying as much money as we want to put ads in front of people where they are, whether that's Google Display, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Well, the good news is, as you know, Rafa, I've been targeting real estate investors for about 6 years on Facebook very easily, and you know how to do that as well. So with that being said, it sounds like the targeting, pretty easy to do. The idea of finding the right people to put these ads in front of. I guess the question that we're going to answer today and work through together is, what should we put in front of them to get them into the funnel? The second part I want to talk about is kind of the infrastructure beyond the funnel, what I call the enhanced conversion machine. What are we doing with these leads once they come in, whether it's a demo request, whether it's a free trial, whether it's a paid trial, whether it's a lead magnet, whether it's one of my world famous assessment funnels. You and I build a lot together. Mm-hmm. What are we doing with them after? Can we engineer that perfect path to purchase? That's one of the things that, as you know, once you figure out path to purchase, once you figure out cold traffic, that's a very dangerous duo that leads to people making a lot of money. So let's focus on just those two things today, if that works for you.
Yep, I love it.
Great. Well, let's start with what you've been working on currently. You probably have some sort of game plan. I don't want to start from scratch here, although I can. What have you been thinking about using for lead magnets? What have you already created? And what are you using predominantly, or what are you preparing to use? Is it going to be the free trial or the paid trial to the software?
Yeah, so we are really assessing, juggling the different options on the front end, right? The lead magnet campaigns that they have been running haven't been very successful. They've done some great conversions from a lead conversion rate on these lead magnets, but that bridge, to your point, that sales path hasn't been successful from lead magnets. And one of the things that we want to start looking at is, beyond lead magnets, having a constant, stable campaign that's driving people into free trials, right? Okay. And so from the free trial perspective, we do have one lead magnet that has been really successful, which is the perfect follow-up system for real estate investors, which is really a lead magnet that explains what a perfect follow-up system should look like. And in the free trial, they get to go ahead and implement that immediately, right, into the account. That's number one. So that's one of the things that we've been working on. Number two, as we've been discussing front-end campaigns, really thinking about what's our hook, how we're going to kind of disrupt the marketplace. And one of the things that I've been thinking about is using Russell Brunson's style of throwing rocks at our enemies, or throwing rocks to the Goliath in the group. Because as you and I both know, there's some big players in this CRM marketing automation space, but these big players aren't tailored and made for this audience. And so one of the big ideas that I've been working on and wanted to bounce off with you is, how do we get up front of them and saying, hey, real estate investors, are you using high level? Or high level, your pipelines are bleeding money. High level is costing you money. High level is costing you time, effort, when you could be in a streamlined system that is made for real estate investors, right? Sure. That's kind of one angle that we've been looking at. Mentioned the lead magnet that we have in play that's been the most successful.
Good. I like it a lot. So what is the actual lead magnet? Is it the free trial, or is there something different? Maybe I missed it.
In the lead magnet campaign, there is an actual PDF lead magnet that's provided to them, right? That they're able to download. Okay. And then it's inviting them into the trial.
What does the PDF deliver?
the perfect follow-up
So
campaign.
the perfect follow-up campaign is the lead magnet, and then you help them start a free trial to implement the perfect follow-up campaign. Got it. Now I'm tracking. So let's go over.
It's already implemented for them, so they don't have to copy and paste anything into the system or anything along those lines.
Let's dive into a couple things. Like one of the things I always take it back to, whether this is a 20-year-old business or it's starting up next month, is we always get back to just starting with clarity, right? How do we talk about what we do? How do we talk about the problems we solve? How do we target people that already woke up this morning wanting what we're offering, that are in the right awareness spectrum? And we'll go over the awareness spectrums in a little bit. How can we focus on that from the very beginning, right? So if we stop and say, okay, we're targeting real estate investors. First of all, you and I know more than anybody else, probably that's a massive, massive audience of people. There's like 30 million that you could technically target. Really, inside that 30 million people who identify, I guess, as a real estate investor, there's probably about 600,000 people in that total 30 million that would be a good candidate for this, maybe fewer. Because certain customer avatars, as we call it, which is really the persona around who we're targeting, there's a lot of sub-segments of that, right? Someone has to have already decided that they need a CRM. They either have to be using a CRM already, or they have to have a significant enough business where a CRM is even needed to be a good candidate for this. So like one of the things I always stop with is say, what's the total addressable market, or the TAM? And the TAM is actually huge for the software, but at first glance, it's actually tiny compared to what it could be when you look at the overall subsegment of who you could target as a real estate investor, right? So there's all these people who may come up as real estate investors on targeting, but they own one rental, or they've tried Airbnb arbitrage, but very few of them are doing enough business consistently to really warrant needing this tool. So I think it's important to understand that. In good marketing, we're joining the conversation they're already having in their head, number one. And number two, great marketing actually attracts the right person, the right subsegment of your intended audience, and it repels the wrong ones. And it's only intimately relevant and speaks to someone who's already in the sales cycle or who's close, right? So that's what I want to dial in a lot more. And if you just take it at face value, like, wow, you got 30 million perfect customers. No, you probably got fewer than 600,000, probably fewer than 20,000 really, who are great candidates, who will be there for a long time. They have businesses that are not just one and done. They're continuously doing it, and they're in this mode of needing this software, right? So that's number one. I'm going to talk about this a little bit more, and then we'll dive into some stuff that you've been working on. I want to see your Pocket Marketer account, and we'll go look at it. The second thing I want to think about beyond just the customer avatar is what would trigger a transaction. Why would someone all of a sudden decide to sign up for REI Black Book, paid, free, whatever it is, right? Any business at all, if you're building a business development plan that leads you to what type of customer acquisition strategy should I implement, you always want to start with my 7 ways to win redundancy system. And that is 2 things. Number 1, what triggers a transaction? Like, why the heck would someone enter the sales cycle? You have to know this. Number 2, who's most likely to refer? So when we go say, we're going to go market for XYZ company, you always start with those 2 things. Number 1, why would someone enter the sales cycle? Let's talk about that. And then over here, outside of just scalable advertising, who can we get in front of who has our perfect customers relationship, and they can give us a referral at the right time in the right place? So go back to what triggers a transaction, and let's just talk through this, Rafa. 1, someone is frustrated with their current CRM. That's number 1. Number 2, they now need a CRM or think they need a CRM for the first time. That could be another trigger for the transaction. It could be that the CRM that they've been using for a long time is no longer has the functionality or no longer being supported, because there are a lot of these things that went out of business as well. It could be the fact that they were at a conference and they saw someone talk about it and show a system, and they're like, wow, I want that, right? There's all these different reasons why someone would need to jump in the sales cycle. And we actually have to write those down a lot, because otherwise we compile them all together, and no good marketing is going to talk to all of those at one time. Somebody who's brand new getting into it, they're going to need to be marketed to in a very different way. Like we always say, you sell to who you market to, right? If you sell to somebody who's unaware and they've never even decided that they need a CRM for their business, good luck. That's going to be very, very difficult to sell anybody, compared to talking to someone who's already hit the brick wall, like your messaging you used earlier about go high level, right? Somebody who's already seen the elephant in the room. They feel like they're paying too much money. This is cool, but wow, it's still a lot of work to build it out, and I don't even know what to do. Or I bought from somebody who gave me a snapshot preloaded and it's not working the way I want to, and I have no support. Like, you've got to talk to those people that way compared to somebody who's in real estate investing, who's ready to crank it up. They're finding some success and they actually need to build a real business. This is the cornerstone of building that real business and running it like an actual business, which is a totally different messaging for a totally different avatar, right? So I just want to go through that for anybody listening so you can hear my thought process. And there's no such thing as one size fits all, number one. Number two, the more intimately relevant you can speak to someone and join that conversation already happening in their head, knowing what they're thinking, what they're fearing, what they've already experienced, what they desire, the easier this game gets. But you've got to do a little groundwork and realize, okay, how do I talk about what I do correctly? How do I talk about the problems that my product or service solves? And then how do I make sure I'm speaking to the right person at the right time, right? So now that we're there, I'd love to go into Pocket Marketer, into your account.
Before we jump in any further, I just wanted to comment that, dude, this is really, it's so powerful to take a moment and step back and to think about what triggers that sales that sales need or that sales conversation. And you're absolutely right. We've identified the people that are frustrated with their current CRMs. We have identified the people that need to increase what they're going into that next level, and they want to take their business to the next level. And I think the third one, which you hinted at, but I think it's an important one as well, is people that are getting into real estate investing and they want to set it up the correct way from the get-go, so that they can enjoy the success or that they're looking for.
Love it. And the fact that you have all three of those figured out now, man, you're so much further ahead than everybody else, because you literally can't find the destination in the GPS until you have that data up front. You don't know who to target, how to speak to them, how to create big ideas and big marketing ideas that actually resonate with them emotionally and are intellectually interesting. Like, it all starts with that clarity. So now we have that. I'd love to go into your Pocket Marketer account. You should be able to share your screen through the functionality here in StreamYard, and we'll pull up your Pocket Marketer account here in just a second. We can use mine too, but you already have a lot of stuff loaded in. For anybody listening, Pocket Marketer, by the way, pocketmarketer.ai is a software that's designed to give you the power of a world-class marketer in your pocket, hence Pocket Marketer. And what's so beautiful about it is, if you sat down with Rafa, you sat down with me, you sat down with Todd Brown or Alex Hermosi, these are world-class business consultants, marketers, growth specialists. What you would end up seeing is that they would ask you a lot of questions. They would drill you. They would interrogate you in a very nice way. And they would literally ask you all the questions that they would need to know to have full context of everything they need to know to be able to go out and produce world-class marketing for you. So essentially what we've done in Pocket Marketer, we've created that system where we go in and we have the ability for you to interview yourself, interview your clients, and give this world-class marketing brain I've trapped inside of Pocket Marketer enough context to do all this marketing for you. So what you're looking at here is Project REI Black Book. The way that Pocket Marketer is set up is you can have as many projects as you want. Rafa, click on projects for me on the left-hand side. When you get into projects, you can create a new project for every client. You can create a new project for the different things you're working on inside your business. This is great for agency owners, aspiring agency owners, or people who just own their own business and they're looking to take control of their marketing. So that's how that works. Go into the REI Black Book for me. We have something called a strategy brief. And the idea of, we have this list of questions. Don't worry about navigating to it right now. List of questions that if you just go and answer these questions or interview your client or whoever else, you're going to give the Pocket Marketer inside that brain everything it needs to know to market for you. What else it works with these projects is all your threads. On the right-hand side, you see all his different chat threads, very similar to ChatGPT. They all can speak together. So you don't have to go and give it context every time. It's already a world-class marketer, 100% trained on your product, your service, your business, your offer. And that's what's so powerful. So Rafa's already been in here. He's built quite a knowledge base. He's used a lot of stuff. What I'd like to do, Rafa, is let's just go back to the very beginning for just a second. Let's go to the big idea tool. So scroll down on the left-hand side, click on the big idea tool, and let's go here. One of the things with any type of AI and human-computer interaction, I think the idea of being able to just talk to it makes it a lot easier. A lot of times our fingers aren't as fast as our brains and our mouths. So what I tend to do is I like to do a system where I use an outside note taker. So I'm going to use my note taker here. And Rafa, let's just dive in. We had a pretty detailed conversation a minute ago, but working on REI Black Book, of course. And right now it's time to really start focusing on cold traffic, paid traffic, scalable advertising, where we can go out and target these real estate investors, and really the right real estate investors. So Rafa, real quick, let's give the Pocket Marketer some context. what are the 3 things you just said a minute ago that triggers a transaction for a real estate investor to want to get in and have a CRM system like REI Black Book?
Yeah, the 3 that we have identified so far is, number 1 is a real estate investor that's frustrated with their existing CRM system. It's not doing what they need it to do. Number 2, real estate investors that are scaling up and moving to the next level and need to really kind of supercharge not just their CRM, but a true deal headquarters system. And then number 3, people that are getting into real estate investing, they might be just at the beginning, but want to set things up correctly from the get-go so that they can enjoy the benefits and the profits from real estate investing.
Awesome. So really, we want to create 3 different big marketing ideas rather than just one for now, because we want to be able to compartmentalize these and use them in advertisements for each one of these avatars. And then after we create these and go through this together, what I'd like to do next is I'd like to go in and actually create these ads. I'd like to create the video scripts, whether you're using a user-generated content UGC video or you're doing it yourself or the founder. I want to build out this whole system with you now. So let's identify the big idea for each one of those avatars and where they are in their journey. Number 2, I want to create the Facebook ads, headlines, copy. I want to do a full hooks and headlines swipe file where we can really get comfortable with the narrative of how we talk about the problems we solve, for who and what specific scenario, and make it so it's very different, very unique, and it's like nothing you've ever seen before. So Rafa, if you'll just stay there, I'm going to give you this note transcript right now. Okay, so Rafa, we had this conversation. I recorded it. We're going to drop it in the big idea generator tool. And we have lots of tools inside of Pocket Marketer, but for now, let's just use the big idea generator tool. This is what we want to start with. So you can go ahead and enter. Don't worry about the extra text there. Doesn't matter. And we're going to start by creating these 3 big ideas, and we're going to kind of hone these in, finalize them. Then we're going to jump into creating hooks and headlines, swipe file. We're going to create Facebook ads, video transcripts, or video scripts that we can use for these ads. It's really powerful. So let's look at it. All right. One of the things that a world-class marketer would do is say, all right, make sure I understand everything correctly, have all the right context, ask a couple of questions before we dive in. I hate it when these chat tools go in and just give you tons of information without asking for context, because it just wastes a lot of time. So it says, okay, thanks for detailed information. Frustrated investors with their poor CRM, scaling investors who are trying to create a centralized deal system, and then beginners. He said, before I get started with a big idea, just to confirm a few points. Are these big ideas mainly from cold traffic Facebook? Number 2, do you want these ideas to support a subsequent funnel message like landing pages, etc.? Do you want to tailor this? So Rafa, just hit that speak button for me next to ask anything. Okay, yes. So these are mostly going to be used for cold traffic. That's the big focus today, is to go out and have ads out there to cold traffic on Facebook, TikTok, things like that. Number 2, we definitely want these to push towards a call to action to either start a free trial, and then we'll also have some lead magnets around the perfect follow-up messaging system that real estate investors need to use. And then lastly, I want it to be a brand voice of something that's really speaking the language and the lingo of real estate investors. So it sounds like a very trusted source, but it's also very conversational. And I'd like to have 3 to 5 big idea concepts per avatar to begin with. Yes, thank you. And this is just my work. This is how I like to do it, Rafa. I just talk to the system. So let's go in and see what happens. Maybe you can read if you want to. I have old eyes.
I love that you're able to have these conversations with these brains. And you're right. Our brains do work faster than our fingers when it comes to getting out these ideas. And so this is a huge advantage for me when I'm working inside of Pocket Marketer.
Absolutely. And as we continue to progress Pocket Marketer, it gets faster and faster. Sometimes depending on how many things you have in the thread, it goes a little slower, but we designed it that way because we want it to be intentional and actually give you a great response, compared to sometimes, like even on the new 5.2 on ChatGPT, it answers me so quick. I'm wondering if it could be a quality answer because it goes so fast. So Rafa, let's read through some of these and then let's choose the ones we like.
Awesome. You want me to read?
Yeah, you can read it. That'd be great.
Awesome. So first avatar number 1, frustrated real estate investors stuck with poor CRMs. We have 5 ideas that were generated. The first one CRM to end your chaos. Narrative. You're drowning in disconnected tools and manual follow-up. What if one system could automate everything? So you never lose a lead or deal again. Stop patching software. Start closing more deals effortlessly. Target, problem aware, mid sophistication, use CRMs but burned before. Risk, competitive but with fresh angle on automation, peace of mind.
So I'll stop here for a second. The way I designed
Yeah.
this work is I wanted to tell you the risk level. Is this something where a lot of other people in the market are actually using the same language, or is this like a fresh angle? And that's what you'll see there with red and yellow and green. And I also want you to think about what a big marketing idea is. A big marketing idea is something that's emotionally compelling, also intellectually intriguing, and it has something unique. It also has a very clear focus of exactly the problem you solve and who you solve it for, right? So it's a very powerful thing. So the second one here says, from frustrated to free, the CRM that works like you do. You're not lazy or disorganized. Your tools just don't get real estate investing. Here's a CRM built by investors for investors that actually helps adapt your hustle and scales with you. Like, these are some pretty good ones. Number 3, stop chasing leads, start closing deals. Every lead lost is money left on the table. Most CRMs drop the ball after one follow-up. This system is built in persistence. It nurtures leads automatically until they say yes. No more missed opportunities. This is good. Escape spreadsheet hell. Real estate CRM that does the heavy lifting. Spreadsheets and sticky notes aren't cutting it anymore. This is a real system that tracks, nurtures, and manages your deals, freeing you up to close more and stress less. Your last CRM ever, built for real estate hustlers. Tired of tools that don't understand your grind? The platform was created by investors who've been there. Get a CRM that works as hard as you do, automate follow-up, track deals, and scale without the chaos. So you know your business more than I do, obviously. How do these resonate with that first person who's already in real estate investing? They already have a CRM. They already have some sort of system. Maybe it's spreadsheets. Maybe it's bubblegum and duct tape. Maybe it's go high level, whatever it is. How does this feel?
This feels like it's going in the right direction for certain. The one thing that I would probably end up playing with this a little bit more is the possibility of potentially calling out some of these broken systems. For example, high level, and seeing if that could be an attention grabber, disruptor as they're scrolling through social media.
Sure. Well, hit the speak button. Let's do it. Hey, one thing I'd like to do is remember there's a lot of big competitors out there that these people are probably using that have a lot of market share. Great products. I never want to disparage a competitor, but I do want someone to resonate with the fact that I know they're using something that's not working for them, and I don't mind calling it out. I'm bold enough to do that. So the idea of talking about go high level, or some of the old school CRMs that stopped being adopted 10 years ago are no longer supported, and any other real estate investor CRMs you can think of, I wouldn't mind integrating another version for this first set of big ideas that's not afraid to mention those other products. There we go. And I think that's great. One of the things I do is I never take the first thing that comes back to me at face value. I always want to make it better. And you know your business more than I ever will. My style, I tend to not call out the Goliath, the Russell Brunson style, because I'm in a very heavy regulated industry with a lot of competitors, and you got to be very careful. But I think in software, it's a little bit easier to do that. So let's go look at the new ones. All right. Still stuck on high level or outdated CRMs? Here's the real deal. You've tried go high level in the usual CRMs that promise everything but deliver headaches. They're generic, complicated, or just abandoned updates years ago. You need a CRM built for real estate investors, one that actually works with your hustle and automates follow-up so you never lose a deal again. Is that closer?
Yep, I'm loving that.
Tired of clunky CRMs like GHL? Step into the future of real estate investing. GHL and these other old school CRMs were once popular, but let's be honest, they aren't built for real estate grind. Well, we'd have to probably make that a little different because GHL is still very, very popular, but we can make some changes there, right? Press the speak button one more time. Let me give you a little bit more. I want you to think about Go High Level right now is probably the most highly adopted CRM across most industries at the moment. And it's highly, highly popular. And a lot of people who are getting into it are becoming a client of somebody else's version of Go High Level, their white label. And it's pre-packed with lots of stuff that maybe works somewhat, maybe it doesn't. It's called a snapshot. So a lot of people may be seeing this, maybe saw a webinar, or they were in an event and they bought someone's version of Go High Level essentially, but at the end of the day, it's still not as robust as it needs to be. It's not really something that was designed from the very beginning for just real estate investors. It's designed for everything. It's a one-size-fits-all tool that solves 1,000 problems. But do you really need that, right? So I want the copy to maybe be a little bit more focused on not saying that Go High Level is not popular, because it is, but finally something that's tailored to real estate investors specifically, because there's all these unique needs that a generic all-in-one CRM cannot provide. It's like the difference between buying your suit at Walmart and getting it done by a tailor. It's always going to fit better. It's always going to be a lot more powerful, but being able to get it at that Walmart price. Beautiful. Let's create some magic here, Mr.
Fire, brother. I am loving capturing your brain today.
Thank you. This is why I built Pocket Marketer. For anybody watching, I speak all over the country, and I've spoken in English many times. And so many people say, Chris, how can I hire you? And I just can't. We have over 51,000 students just in our one company. I can't give you my time, but what I can do is give you access to my brain. And this tool set, all these different tools, has my brain in it at a pretty high level, so you can tap into me at any moment. Rafa gets my brain all the time because we're besties, but that's okay. All right, so Go High Level is popular, but is it built for real estate investors? Narrative. GHL is everywhere for a reason. It tackles a lot of industries, but as a jack of all trades, it can't master the unique challenges of real estate investing. REI Black Book is designed exclusively for investors, like a tailor-made suit that fits your business perfectly without the extra bulk or missing pieces. Wow, what a like bridge there. Why settle for a generic GHL snapshot when you can get a real estate CRM tailored to you? Lots of investors jump into someone else's GHL snapshot hoping it will work, but a generic system has limits. You deserve a platform built from the ground up for your world, automating your toughest investor tasks with precision and simplicity without paying a fortune. How are we doing, Rafa? Are we getting better?
We're getting better. I'm loving it.
Love it. So let's keep going. Let's go back to the voice again. Yeah, I'll do it. Just press the button for me.
Yeah.
This is my time to serve you. I want you to walk away with something great. All right. I want to go to the second avatar now. This is somebody who's been a real estate investor, but they're ready to start treating their business like a business. They need the tools. They need to have something that's going to work for them. They need leverage, because let's face it, we don't have the ability as real estate investors most of the time to have a big payroll, a whole bunch of VAs we have to manage. We need a system that doesn't need to be managed. So let's go create those 3 to 5 big ideas. And then obviously they're not going to be as aware of all the choices out there that they can choose from. Some of them will be in comparison mode, and they've already been researching, should I go to GHL or should I do this or do that? So let's make sure we can end their search right now and they don't have to do any more due diligence. There's nothing more I'd rather be doing than writing copy and letting my other brain write copy for you. So I'm glad to be here with you, Mr. Rafa.
Man, I appreciate this. It's so helpful to be able to unpack it, start with the trigger point, identify, because it's beyond avatars, it's avatar and need, right? Or avatar in that moment where they enter, they have the possibility to enter into our world.
Think about my sales training, and you've been on a lot of it. I say for anyone ever to create a relevant solution and propose a solution to a prospect, you have to know, what they want, and what they've experienced. You have to understand that. So you have this shirt you made me one time that had Madame Cleo on it. And you've been through some of my trainings where I talk about that Madame Cleo psychic moment where we should already know everything there is to know about our perfect prospect. We should know everything, what they smell like, what deodorant they wear, what they eat, what they read, who they're paying attention to. Like, we should know all this stuff. So sometimes we don't, though, because as a business owner, even a marketer like yourself in a business like this, whether you work for them or you're a partner, you're so inside of it. You're inside the box. Your nose is too close to the tapestry compared to, that's why we have consultants. That's why we have people like you and I in other capacities who allow people to come in and get a fresh perspective and take them back to the original. So, all right, scaling investors, big ideas, ready to run their business like a business. Okay. Scale smarter, not harder. The system that grows with you, no VAs required. The narrative: you've hustled hard to close deals, but managing a team, juggling tools, and micromanaging VAs is burning you out. REI Black Book automates the heavy lifting, lead follow-up, deal tracking, marketing, so you can get the leverage you need without the headache. Finally, a system built for scaling investors who want freedom, not more busy work. That's good. Number 2, your last CRM and your first true business system. You've researched GHL, tried piecing together CRMs and apps, but none fit your real estate business perfectly. REI Black Book is different. It's built from the ground up for investors who want to run a real business, not just hustle. Automate workflows, manage pipelines, and close deals with a system that works as hard as you do. Stop searching, start winning. Number 3, cut the chaos, keep the control. Scale without the stress. Narrative: growing your business shouldn't mean drowning in spreadsheets, late nights, and missed leads. REI Black Book gives you a centralized deal headquarters that automates the grind and keeps you in control. No micromanagement needed. Focus on strategy and growth while the systems handle the rest. This is how real investors scale. So this is really talking to where they are, what they want, their desires. It's future pacing. It's also assuming that they're in comparison mode, or if they are in comparison mode, telling them they don't have to be. So I think this is powerful.
I'm loving it.
Love it. Well, we can go all day. Let's go ahead and get the third one made. Maybe we won't read them, but I want to go to probably the, before you click that, I want to go probably to the first avatar, and let's go build out the hooks and headline swipe files. Let's do all that too. Okay.
Brilliant. Let's do it.
Go back to my talking part here. Round number 3. Let's get the third avatar made. And remember, these are people who are aspiring real estate investors. So let's talk about the problems that they don't even know they're going to run into yet. And let's help them understand they can avoid paying this dumb tax, as Keith Cunningham calls it, which are the mistakes that we have already made. Imagine having the ability, here's your like bridge, having the ability to sit down with someone who's done 5,000 flips. They've gone through every software and every tool suite there is. They've even tried to build their own. And then you're able to skip all that trial and error, all that money, all that time wasted, and go to the right tool from the very beginning. Like, what a blessing, right? So I think about that. And I'd also want to make sure they understand that the secret behind a lot of real estate investors who have been successful versus the one who's burned out is the quality of the systems. You know, in kind of like the consulting world, we talk about it. We fail to the level of our systems. So jumping into the business for the first time without a system, you're guaranteed to fail. So I want people to have that fear already of they've already been thinking about doing this and they've been talking themselves out of it logically because of certain reasons. I want to remove all that shit off the table and let them know they can have confidence because they're starting from square one with the right systems that are battle tested and made specifically for them. Boom. Good stuff here, right?
Loving it.
One of the things with Pocket Marketer is I'm not expecting you to have the ability to speak like I speak. You're not supposed to. It's not something, unless you've done your 10,000 hours, you've read all the books, you've spoken on all the stages, you've marketed and consulted for over 1,000 businesses like I have. I'm not thinking you should, but you have the power to ask the questions. The way that Pocket Marketer works is all you have to do is answer some questions that we give you, and then we'll come up with everything for you. And you can go back and forth, say, yes, I like it. And I will actually, inside of Pocket Marketer, give you these ideas like I'm giving Rafa right now. Okay. I don't want to go through this right now because there's a lot that we can be doing outside of this. I'd like you to press the back button. So we're still inside your project. And I'd like to go to the Pocket Copywriter tool, which is right there. Yep. Press the speak button and let's get you some hooks and headline swipe file. Hey, I'd like to create a hooks and headline swipe file. We just were in the big idea tool and we created some really banger, really good big ideas. And actually we'll come and copy and paste them in here. And I'd like to get a copy sheet that tells us how to talk about what we do. I want it to be very clear with all the hooks and headlines that we can use on websites, on ads, in videos, in scripts, in emails, things that are going to be hyper relevant and very much in line with the big marketing idea we created. So maybe hit send there. Let's go back to the other one and let's grab the winners that we liked. It's probably already has the information.
Can I leave while it's thinking?
Yeah, you should be able to. Yep. So go back to the thread there and let's go and find, just for the first avatar, the final ones we did. Targeted big ideas right there. Copy and paste those 5. There we go. And let's just go put that back in the other tool. This is something where a lot of us who use ChatGPT pretty normally are used to. So go ahead and just copy and paste it right there and say, let's do it for these specifically. That's okay. I can't spell specifically either. Don't worry about it. Pocket Marketer already has all the context from that other thread because it's inside the project, but I want it to be very focused on just these right here so it doesn't get confused. So let's go and do this. Go high level is the Walmart of CRMs. I didn't see that. REI Black Book is your tailored. I love it. Go down the bottom before we read, please, and say, please give me.
Here, I'm turning you on.
Okay. Yeah, let's go ahead and build out what we would probably simulate for Facebook ads. If I had to create 5 different Facebook ad copy variations for this, I'd like to do 2 short copy, 3 long form copy, and then give me 3 to 4 headlines for each one, please. One of the things that I built, Rafa, and you haven't seen this yet, is I built protocols and I built prompt swipe files. So that what I just said is going to be in a swipe file where someone doesn't have to wonder what they should ask next. It's fully built out for you. So I actually trained on the protocols to about 500 people yesterday, because one of the things is giving someone a world-class tool set doesn't make them a carpenter, right? We have to teach them actually how to do that work as well and have to take all the subjectivity out of it. So if you'll scroll up a little bit, let's read the hooks and headlines. Keep going. There you go. Yeah, let's go through some of these, right? So we went through, we created our big ideas. We have several versions. We could have said, hey, this is the one. This is the one big idea. We're running with it. And it would have created from there, but we gave it a lot more. So hooks and headlines, go high level is popular, but it is built. But is it built for real estate investors? Narrative, go high level is everywhere for a reason, but tackles many industries. Okay, so we've already looked at a lot of this stuff. This is probably very similar to what we already looked at before. Yep, so let's go down to the Facebook ads. My goal is for you to be able to walk away with something you can work with here. Okay. GHL is popular, but is it really built for real estate investors? Stop forcing a generic CRM to fit your unique business. REI Black Book is custom tailored for investors who want to close more deals and scale faster. Try it risk-free today. Headline options. Tired of generic CRMs that don't fit your real estate business? Close more deals with CRMs made just for investors. Go high level versus real estate investors. Choose the right fit. Stop settling for CRM snapshots that don't work, right? So this is a very aware audience, somebody who's already using a different CRM. I want to explain short copy versus long copy. You probably know this very, very well already, Rafa, but short copy was designed for high click-through rate, right? We use short copy often in parallel to an image ad rather than a video because your click-through rates will be much, much higher, which means your cost per clicks will be much, much lower. If we wanted to use long copy, we would probably use images there as well because we want someone to read the copy. That's why it's there. If you give them a video and long copy, you're telling their brain to choose one of the two and they won't. They'll probably do both and they won't look at either one of them very often. Videos for me are more useful in ads when I'm trying to explain a concept rather than getting them to read. And I want them to watch the video, which is maybe getting a stronger click through to get to the other page. And I'm trying to filter that out a little bit more. So I like to create short form variations of copy, long form copy. Sometimes I'll do just one line or like GHL is popular, but ... And then I'll use a video for the actual ad. So the video actually gives them the information in that headline or that body copy is actually enticing them to watch the video, right? So there's a lot of really cool ways to do this. I have some training on this too of when to use each one. And I'll tell you, most media buyers, people who spent millions and millions, they have no clue this exists. Mm-hmm. And I know you've been running media for a long time, and I've taught you some cool stuff there, but that's probably something new maybe to you as well. Like there's actually a good combination here. So I wanted to build a couple of them. Let's go down to the second one. Using a one-size-fits-all CRM like GHL is like buying a suit off the rack. It might work, but it won't fit perfectly. REI Black Book is a tailor-made system built exclusively for real estate investors. Get the perfect fit for your business today. Guys, let me teach you about like bridges. You know what a like bridge is? It's essentially an analogy where you can say a statement in marketing that someone's like, oh, instantly I understand the way it works. So like the idea of using this like bridge or analogy of the suit coming off the rack at Walmart versus being tailored, people who appreciate quality and people who appreciate things working the first time and not settling, they will resonate with that. So that's why I use that today. So that's good. Long form. GHL is everywhere, blah, blah, blah. Yep. We can read these all day, but I'd like to get some other ones too. So I'll go back to the speak icon. Let's get you some more goodies to play with. Hey, I love all these. They're very, very, very focused on someone who's already using a CRM. I'd like to do another set of Facebook ad copy, very similar, 2 short, 3 long, that is not somebody who's using a specific CRM. It's not only talking about that CRM, but instead it is talking more about the benefits of what they're looking for. It sells the whole, not the drill. And it speaks to somebody who's already beaten their head up against the wall, tried a lot of things, and almost gave up on all of it and went back to spreadsheets because they haven't found the thing that's actually going to give them the result they're looking for. So let's do that one. And then let's go in.
I love it. And I agree wholeheartedly.
Because you can't talk to everybody the same way. And that's what marketing, you have to tailor the message so intimately relevant and unique to each one of your avatars. Otherwise, they won't pay attention, right? If you have some people who are wholesalers, maybe we should write an ads right to wholesalers. Mm-hmm. If some people are flippers, let's do it straight to flippers. If someone's a Burr method, let's run it straight to Burr method. And let's talk about the narrative that's already going on in their head. What can we do to really segment this even more? So go ahead and go back down to the little icon, speak icon. Let's create some more because this can do this while we work. Hey, also, I want to create one for wholesalers. Wholesalers are a really, really big group of real estate professionals, and a lot of them are hyper focused on lead gen activities, automations. They're the ones that tend to scale the big teams. And I want to go into the narrative that's going in a wholesaler's head is they want to use AI. They want to use more automations. They want to rely less on overseas VAs. But it seems like piecing together all these different softwares, doing everything's not getting what they want. But there is one solution out there that is different, better than anything they've ever tried. And it's something that can actually deliver them what they want. And that's REI Black Book. Good. It doesn't hurt that I've been marketing to real estate investors for 6 years, like you know.
It does not hurt.
I know what's in their head. I know what they're thinking. So we can create this for days. Think about how much it would cost to go and create all this information and create and skip the trial and error of seeing what hooks resonate and what doesn't. And it's just pretty powerful. So if you'll scroll up a little bit before it prints us out information, let's read some of these. Here we go. So this is a different one. Here's for frustrated investors searching for a real solution. Still juggling spreadsheets and random tools, losing leads and deals. It doesn't have to be this hard. REI Black Book automates your follow-up, tracks every lead, and helps you close more deals all in one system built for investors. And then it has stop juggling tools. Get REI Black Book today. From chaos to consistent deals. This system's investors trust. Stop losing leads in your spreadsheets. Automate now. Beautiful. Let's go to one of the long forms. If you're like most real estate investors, you've tried everything, spreadsheets, free CRMs, random maps, and still feel like you're spinning your wheels, leads slip through the cracks, follow-up falls apart, and deals get lost in the chaos. It's exhausting. You wonder how you'll ever get ahead if you're doomed, or if you're doomed to keep struggling with the same problems. REI Black Book was built for investors exactly like you who want a simple, powerful system that automates lead tracking, follow-up, deal analysis, and marketing. No more juggling tools or hoping your spreadsheets don't crash. Stay organized, get automated, get consistent deals, and get your time and freedom back with REI Black Book. So before we get into anything else here, Rafa, like a complete system, we have Facebook ad copy and headlines that we can go ahead and use right now. What I would do is I'd study this concept of the reticular activating system. And the reticular activating system, as you know already, is that system inside of your brain that tells you what to pay attention to and what not to, right? So we're desensitized by all the advertisements that we're seeing just like being flooded into our world every day. Our brain has this mechanism that says, hey, this is relevant, this is shocking, this is exciting, this is intriguing, and it makes you pay attention subconsciously, going from alpha to beta brainwaves. So that's what Facebook ad creative and ad creative is all about. It's all about, can I just make someone stop the scroll and pay attention? So somebody who's a real estate investor, what would the images be, the visuals be that will stop them in their tracks and make them click, make them pay attention? So that's all we have to do. We don't have to make it too crazy. It doesn't have to be the most beautiful thing in the world. It's just got to trigger that reticular activating system. It's just science, right? It's like it's buffering here. I would use images if I wanted high click-through rate rather than videos for now with this type of ad copy. And I'd use images that are super simple. One that shows an old spreadsheet that's a very popular template that real estate investors are using to calculate after repair value. Or I would use a spreadsheet or like a go high level snapshot with a very, very generic looking landing page. Or I would show something like a GHL text message thread and block out some stuff and have all those red error messages. I would have something that triggers what's relevant and already timely for them. We're like, oh, okay. I'll give you an example. One of my podcasts, I was with Tanisha, and if I was going to put an image up for hers was called Salon Auntie. And she teaches beauty professionals how to run their 1099 Schedule C like a real business so they can actually build wealth and not just be broke at the end of every month and not even be able to finance a car, right? So I said for her images, all she has to do is have a picture of a woman, and it's very discreetly has a pair of scissors tattooed on her forearm. Instantly, somebody who's a hairdresser sees that without it having to say anything else and knows it's relevant to them, right? So we have to use images, use things that are relevant to real estate investors. That would be huge. If you're going after wholesalers, well, the idea of using a paper flip type of document or an option document or those things, like that's going to show up to them and it's going to catch their attention to get them to stop the scroll and pay attention. So that's the kind of stuff I would do. The other thing I'd like to do with you in here, besides give you kind of that advice, is I would go
Well, I want
into
to pause there for 1 second, and I just want to say thank you for that advice, because you're absolutely right. We get stuck sometimes just thinking about how I'm going to communicate the message through the image, when the purpose of the image is just to capture their attention, make it relevant to them, and make them feel like this was written for them.
Correct. And the image is only there just to stop their scroll. That's all it's there for. And that's why I don't go to videos as often for ads. I do if I want to convey something, or I want them to hear the video before they go through. It's like a mechanism of scrubbing, so I can get fewer leads. That's what I use it for. But I'll give you an example. Today I was running ads for our business, Dealmaker Wealth Society, and it was Carl's giving away a pre-vetted list of 10 deals that should qualify for SBA financing. And I have six different versions of it. One for home services, one professional, one manufacturing and engineering, one for online businesses and e-com, one for IT services, and one for SaaS. So the images I'm using, one is like literally a SaaS business with a for sale sign in front of it. That's all it needs. Or a picture of an e-commerce store with a for sale sign in front of it. It speaks volumes. If someone's thinking about buying an e-com business, that's going to get their attention.
Amen.
I don't have to go too crazy on it. So I'm glad you heard that. So this is where most people struggle and don't have the ability to predict success, is because they're just piecemealing or going off of whatever article they saw on HubSpot says to do. And it's not always the right way to do it. So a couple more things here so you can be really set up to run traffic. Two things. So let's go back down to the speak bar for a second. I'd like to create some video scripts. I want to create some UGC, which is user-generated content scripts, usually 45 seconds to 60 seconds long, that are really almost like a testimonial from someone who's been where the people are that we're looking to target. A real estate investor who's tried it all, been frustrated, almost went back to Excel because everything else just falls apart and they'd rather just do things manually, and they've given up on the idea of automation. I'd like to create a script for that and talk about why they say, I checked out REI Black Book and it was like a tailored suit rather than something I picked up off the rack at a thrift store. Like, I want to keep using that like bridge as well. I'd also like to have another video for the other avatar, somebody who's not super new, but they definitely are not running their business like a business, and they're missing the systems and processes. And that's why they feel like they can't scale, and they've got to make this work, or else I've already quit my job and burned the bridge. Until I found REI Black Book, and that was a transformation. And then give me 4 or 5 others. I don't want to feed you all the ideas. You give me the ideas. Boom. So let's make some videos, Rafa.
Let's do it, brother.
So
from an organizing perspective, one of the things that I really love about Pocket Marketer is my ability to really begin to systemize and name the different conversations for that specific project, but the effort that I was working on. So for example, for this one, we were really focused on that first avatar. We skipped a little bit into the second one here, but how would you recommend organizing this here on the back end? I was thinking that I would have a pocket copywriter for each of the avatars that we're working through.
You can. Today we're brainstorming, right? Today we're brainstorming. The way that I've designed the system, and in the next 2 weeks, I believe, I had a meeting before this call with Suhail and Daniel, my developers and my partners, and we're having the Save to Copy Vault feature added soon, where you can click a little dot at the bottom of the thread and hit Save to Copy Vault and organize it. Pops up, says, where do you want to put it in your project? So that way you don't have to only organize by threads, but you can save the outputs, emails, anything you want.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to that, because even in the conversations that we just had, there were some super gold nuggets in the big idea section that I would love to be able to highlight and be like, dude, this is the gold from here. Let me put this in a special place.
And one of those features came from you, like the idea of being in ChatGPT and have those 3 little dots at the bottom where you can click it and say, speak to me, and add the project. We're doing that as well, and it should be live by next week. So at the very bottom, you can click that and it says, speak to me, and it can speak to you, so you don't have to read it. Number 2, it has a like or dislike to give us feedback. Number 3, report a problem. Number 4, add a task. And number 5, save to Copy Vault. So these are the things that we need to put in there, and that's what's being built out right now. Let's read a couple of these video scripts, and then I want to prepare you with some emails, and then we'll probably have to end today's episode because we're over an hour right now. But let's read some. So this is a UGC video script. So anybody watching, that's a user-generated content. You've seen these talking head videos on a vertical on a vertical screen on all these different platforms, and it's someone talking about something. And this is a very powerful way to advertise. And it seems like the AI generated ones are getting better and better and better. I know you're a Creatify.ai junkie. Captions is really good. Agent is good. But this is what it would be. So, man, I've tried everything: CRMs, automation tools, even spreadsheets. And at one point, I was so frustrated, I almost gave up on automation entirely. I thought maybe I'm better off just doing it manually in Excel. But then I found REI Black Book. And honestly, it was like going from a thrift store suit that never fit right to a tailored suit made just for me. Everything just clicks. The lead follow-up, the deal tracking, the marketing. It's not some generic tool that tries to do everything but misses the mark. It's built for real estate investors. So now I'm closing more deals, I'm wasting less time, and actually enjoying the process. Again, if you've ever been burned or feel stuck, seriously give REI Black Book a shot. It might be just the fit you've been waiting for, right? Like the idea of we skip past so much time it takes to write scripts, and we started with the big idea and everything came from there. This just flows, bro. It just flows like a river. It's so easy. Love it. Well, we can go all day. I can create stuff all day long. When I'm looking at an entire funnel, we have some ad copy. We have ideas now for ad images, and you can ask it, hey, what ad images should I create? Give me the ideas. It'll give it to you. We have some UGC videos.
I wanted to ask you. So in the simple ad images that you mentioned, right, can Pocket Marketer help me provide that prompt that I would use either in Nano Banana or inside of ChatGPT to generate some simple AI images?
Let's go. Press the speak button and we'll do it. Hey, I need to go to like Google Nano Banana or Gemini to create these ad images. Can you give me the prompts that I would use in those prompt-based image builders so I can create some scroll stopping images that I can use in these ads specifically? And give me a really good organizational system so I know which one of these images is for which one of the ad variations above. And I'm not necessarily going to use any type of logos or anything like that, but I can. Just tell me what you want from me. Guide me. There we go. One thing to keep in mind is
best friend marketer in your pocket.
I know it. You know, we're in Pocket Copywriter, and Pocket Copywriter, I mean, you can do this in Pocket Marketer. You can do this in a lot of the different tools, but they're all very, very relevant. They all will work for you. Even if you want to stay in this thread and keep rolling, you can get into a lot deeper stuff than what you think a copywriter would do for you. But it's something you can also pause and go to a different thread if you want to, and you can name it and stay organized. It's kind of whatever you'd like. There we go. So let's see what happens here. So it's going to give us an entire system, image prompts. And this does have web search enabled. My tools all have web search enabled, Rafa. So a lot of times if you have a closed off tool, it won't have enough context to be able to create this for you because it's just using its own closed knowledge base. But this has the ability to go out and learn, like, okay, Google Nano Banana, what type of prompt should I use? It will find that in the background while I was thinking and bring it into you so it can give it to you in the right way from the very beginning, right? Okay, so let's scroll up a little bit and read some of these. And we are building a Facebook ad image and social media image generator. It may take a couple months to get it out there, but we will be building that. I just don't want to put out something that's not good. And I got to tell you, I don't want to put Google Nano Banana or VO3 or these image and video builders in the Pocket Marketer. I don't. And I'll tell you why. Because they're only as good as the prompts you're using. It's not going to create anything that's going to be really effective for you. It's the strategy behind it is what makes it all the difference. So, okay, so we can go look at any of these. This is a GHL competitor aware ads. It says prompt, a professional real estate investor looking frustrated with multiple disconnected software apps and computer screens contrasted with a glowing, sleek, all-in-one system enabled, tailored for real estate investors. Hey, I don't know if you're open to this. Well, why don't you just open up Nano Banana and let's just copy and paste that in there and see what happens. You know, I don't control Nano Banana, obviously, but like, how fast would it be? If it was me as well, I'd probably say give it to me in 1:1 ratio. I'd probably type that in as well. So it gives you a square image. Or if you want to do 4:5, you can do 4:5. There you go. See what happens. So this is the idea of being able to do things so much faster. And do you have to hire a designer anymore? Not necessarily. Could you go into Canva and be a Canva gangster and do this in there? Absolutely. Could you? There's all kinds of things you could really do. I mean, that was pretty easy. Is your CRM built for real estate? I mean, is that going to get, is that, Yeah. And that's one of the reasons why I don't want to put a Google Nano Banana and these other softwares inside a Pocket Marketer, because it's still only 95% correct. So for me, I'd probably hand this off, or I'd say, hey, get rid of the overlay and just do the images. There's all kinds of different ways you can do this, but yeah, you can create these ads in seconds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And like I said, I don't control Google Nano Banana or its spelling abilities, but there we are, man. Well, I really enjoyed having you today. It's been a lot of fun, Rafa. I hope you have something you can walk away with. We've added a lot to your account specifically as well. I think we recap this. We really decided to be clear from the very beginning on who exactly are you guys really needing to target? Where are they in their journey? What are their unique pain points, desires? What have they already tried? So we can talk to them at a more intimately relevant level. And the reason why intimate and relevant is so important is because that's what the human brain determines whether they pay attention or not. And we also want someone to look at this and feel so much affinity with it that they can't help but give themselves permission to buy. And that's what we're looking to do. And when we can talk about what they've gone through, the perspective they have, what they're already feeling, and we're just joining the conversation that's already going on in their head, marketing gets really freaking easy. So we did all that. We came up with a lot of big ideas, a lot of really cool things that you can work with. Go back to the team and decide which one you want to go with. We did a lot of sample Facebook ad copy that can be used right now. We have prompts for Facebook ad images. We have scripts for UGC videos that you can go into your tool of choice and create. You're pretty much good to go. From there, you already have a winning lead magnet. You can literally change the call to action to anything you want. At the bottom of those Facebook ads, you could have said, sign up for a free trial, 7 days, no credit card required right now. And then you could have linked the button to there. You could also say something like about your 7-day follow-up system. Get access to the secret sauce that we've baked into every account, the 7-day follow-up system, instant access. And you could have done it any direction you want to go, or you can rebuild them specifically just for those things. So you're armed and dangerous, my friend. You got a lot of stuff you can go play with.
This has been incredible. As a professional marketer, having the opportunity to be able to jump on with you just to get a little clarity and perspective is wonderful. So I highly recommend anyone that has the opportunity to jump on a call with Chris like this to do it. And the tool that you've provided us, this is really next level. I'm really loving how we've organized our approach, right? Really focused on what is the trigger that's driving people into the need that we're here to help them with, and building out the avatars and messaging. I feel really well armed to go make a big difference.
Awesome, man. Well, glad that hear that this work for you is impactful. And sometimes this 1 hour can lead to a amazing windfall of success. Just having that moment to get past the plateaus. And it's safe to say, you know what you know. You also know what you don't know. But a lot of other people out there that own a business and they've been feeling like they're a victim of their own business. They wake up every morning and they go to bed every night fretting about how to grow. They feel like they've hired a lot of people. No one's been able to deliver. They're a little bit skeptical and scared. They feel like they're gambling rather than investing. Imagine having the ability to take control of the ownership of your marketing and actually be able to create things that will convert, and hiring a $20,000, $30,000 a month marketer like me to consult with you, but having my brain for almost nothing. It makes a big difference. And this is a big gift I'm trying to give to the world. And this isn't me bragging on what I'm able to do, but I know for a fact that there's very few businesses you sit me down in front of them that can't grow if they have the right ingredients. So what about an agency owner, Rafa? We own agencies as well. Imagine if you're an SEO right now, would you be shaking in your boots? Would you be wishing you were a full stack and you had the ability to do paid ads and emails and nurture sequences and all the things that you didn't specialize in, since your business is in jeopardy? Yeah. This is your ability without hiring another person to go in using Pocket Marketer and build out an entire suite of new upsells and services to sell in your agency. This could save your agency. And then there's all these people who don't have any business. No offense to you, have no business getting into an agency. They have no business. A lot of people are jumping into these AI agencies and you have no business in doing so. You're not prepared for it, but now you are. Now you have the tools that you need, because without these, you're taking people's money blindly and probably can't deliver, right? So it's really leveling the playing field. And I'm glad I was able to put this type of product out there. So what's your biggest takeaway from today, Rafa, before we end it?
My biggest takeaway is always remember the trigger. Because if we can get on the right track, if we start at the right place, our imagination, our creativity, our desire to connect with these folks is going to drive us the right way. But if we don't start in the right place, which is the trigger, then we can get lost in the woods.
100%. We can be targeting somebody who says, excuse me, I don't have that problem. What? That's your problem. Like, always think about what triggers a transaction. Why does someone enter the sales cycle? And like I said earlier, with SEO, search engine optimization, that's the whole premise of SEO, is how to get between someone's search and when they buy. Like, so what triggers that transaction? It's just like optimizing for search terms. It's just talking about it in your disruptive marketing. And all this translates and trickles all the way through all your funnels, everything. This tool, we didn't show you everything, but it does conversion rate optimization. You can actually look at all of your funnels and landing pages, not only tell you how to create them and give you all the copy, it also can go to your existing pages and tell you word for word exactly what to change and why to make it convert better. Like, it's the sky's the limit here. And as we get the funnel hacker and the website builder tool built, it's going to be game over. So cool.
I have one quick tactical question. So we did a lot of great work in some of these different conversations. We didn't get to go into the pocket strategy, coach, which is where we created the knowledge base from the get-go. Mm-hmm. After these conversations, if I really liked where I was going, would you recommend that I then add that back into the strategy coach? Or is the strategy coach gathering this, and how can I signal what I liked and didn't like? And maybe these are things to think about in the future.
Yeah, good question. So if you can see my screen, we've been building out the next level of Pocket Marketer, and actually should be live by, and today is, just so you guys know, it's the 18th of December. So if you're watching this in 2026, 2027, it's already been in here. But inside the project system, we've gone back to kind of a new look and feel where you set up your project once, you have the interview system we referenced a few times, where you can go in and ask all the intake questions, record it here, copy and paste it like we did with Rafa. But then from there, Rafa, you have a knowledge base where you can go in again and again and again, and you can add more and more files, anything you'd like into the knowledge base, so you can continue to grow it. In general, you're kind of a hyper user, and a lot of people don't want to go back and say, yeah, make sure I added this to knowledge base. So everything automatically is added right now. So every single thread still knows about every single thread. It's not like you're choosing which one goes in and which one doesn't. But yeah, it's got a lot of cool functionality. We're building the task manager, actually literally a full-on website and funnel builder. The copy vault, like I told you about earlier, it's all in the works and it's almost finished. So yeah, hopefully that answers your question. But it's been a really fun ride so far. Everyone's loving it. And my big KPI, key performance indicator for success for me, is just people making money.
Amen.
This is unlocking the ability. But once again, a tool is just a tool. Giving you a hammer doesn't mean you're a carpenter. And if you try to use a hammer to screw in a screw, it's not going to work. So like, I'm building in a lot of training. I'm building in a lot of guidance, protocols, a lot of prompts, a lot of step-by-step use cases on how you can use this at a very high level. So you don't have to come in and just not know how to do it. So I hope that makes sense. Thanks for being on today. Marketing Makeover Show, powered by Pocket Marketer. You can go to pocketmarketer.ai, pocketmarketer.ai. If you want to get a beta spot, request beta access. You can get access today. The moment you buy, you get access today. And if you're seeing this way later on the road, we're already out of beta by probably about February 2026. Then you can go to pocketmarketer.ai anytime and sign up. So thanks, Rafa. Have a lovely day, and we'll see you soon.
Awesome. Thank you.